Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, your girl, the one and only Tiffany E, aka Smackdown TV2, and I am here to give you guys all of the tea when it comes to wrestling and maybe a little bit of odds and ends in between there. So why don't you go ahead, go get your snacks, go get your juice, go get you a good drink, a good glass of wine if you can drink it. If you're underage, don't be drinking, okay? Go on and get you some juice or something and sit back and listen as we kiki and holler about wrestling. Because over here, you get a plethora of things when it comes to my show, okay? You get wrestling commentary.
No benefit of the doubt. Dr. Phil say don't do that. Dr. Phil say when somebody show you who they are, and so did Maya Angelou, believe them. Them two hoes are snakes. They've been snakes, and them hoes was like that when you got there, and they like that now, so fuck them both. And they did the right thing by letting them headline WrestleMania. They most definitely deserve to headline WrestleMania, and that is how you close a Mania.
What else will you get? You'll also get a weekly recap of every single show that WWE has to offer. Monday Night Raw after show, NXT after show, and of course a Friday Night Smackdown after show. You'll also get a recap of all the big 5 PLEs. I even do the Saudi shows for you. And then, if it's good and worth the time, I may even throw a little AEW in there. But of course, I will do my best to make sure I recap as many PLEs as possible. If I don't have it, then I'll throw it to one of my friends who do know it. We also cover pop culture, and we have really good time over here with lifestyle and just giving advice. So, if you're ready, it's showtime, and that is on the ancestors, baby. All right, y'all. So we're going to get into it. Let me upload these last pieces of commentary. Let me just get it. What? All right. Thank you.
Are they staying here?
Yes. Okay. So, first of all, I'm not the one who's taking care of them. Mom is. So be mad at her.
I ain't got nothing to do there. They're going to be here tomorrow no way. But why would you drop them off in the clubs?
They told me that they wasn't staying till tomorrow. They would be coming to pick them up tomorrow morning.
Okay.
It ain't none of my business what they doing. I didn't ask. I don't care. Anyways, y'all. Top commenter of the day goes to B. Jeffers. He was numero uno in here at 9:59. I went live. Okay. Now, technically, I was going live, but I was live at 9:59. So because I was live and the intro was rolling, B. Jeffers gets the number one top commenter of the day. And of course, my other moderator, Hiram, gets the second one, and Youngboy J gets the third. And then we had Nika, Pierre, Kayla, Sasha, all of the usual folk is in here. Okay. Tay, and then I have another moderator who showed up today. You got Donnie in here. So shout out to all y'all for showing up early and on time. Okay. And shout out to all my moderators coming in. Thank you for keeping my chat box clean. And we're going to get into this show because it was very interesting. It really was. It was a time, darling. It was a time. Now, for whatever reason, some of my pictures didn't upload all the way, but we're going to talk about it nonetheless, okay? Because there was a lot going on today. The main event for today was Jey Uso versus Austin Theory for the United States Championship. A beautiful matchup, and actually would have worked with Jey Uso becoming champion. But everybody knows that it's going to be nefarious and felonious intent when you got Austin Theory putting his title on the line. That man has never defended his title clean in any given situation that he has been put in, whether the odds are against him or whether they're in his favor. He always ends up winning on some nefarious and felonious intent. Every single time. There has been never a title defense where he has actually won without doing some ignorant shit. Y'all can get on the comments, be mad at me if you want. I don't really give a shit, but that's where I'm at. So there was a couple exciting things that happened today. Okay. Jey Uso came out there as Solo, and Pauline was starting to kick off the show for whatever reason. Now, Jey Uso was very upset with Solo for taking out Jimmy. I thought Jay was the oldest, but it seems like Jimmy is the oldest of their brother group. Jimmy must have came out first, and then Jay came out afterwards. Okay, cool. We love a good twin magic moment, right? Mm-hmm. Depends on who the twins are, but live your best life. Anyways, as the saying goes, boys will be boys, but this time the boys were not happy. Okay, they were in their feelings, they were upset, they were mad. Okay, Jey Uso was not having it. But then Pauline started doing his master manipulation bullshit. His main manipulation tactic was to big up Jey Uso, and he's the right hand man, and he's next in line to be the tribal chief. Right. As if Roman would be setting his next successor up. He doesn't care about the successor. Roman only cares about him and him being at the top alone. If it was about the successor, Jey Uso would have had a match with him and not with Austin Theory. Okay? With all that being said, though, let's move into what this really was about. Jey Uso gets a United States Championship match, and he still had a decision to make, to which he never gave an answer to. He walked out of the ring and left Paul Heyman hanging high and dry. And throughout the night, we got some conversation from two big influencers in the bloodline, one former member and one current member. You got a conversation with Sami Zayn to Jey Uso about him choosing what's in his heart and worrying about that and not listening to Paul Heyman, because we all know that Heyman is only looking out for his own skin. He doesn't care about anything else, and he likes to feed that weird innate narcissistic voice and paranoia that Roman runs through his mind every single day. Paul Heyman likes to manipulate that so he can continue to keep his tribal chief under control. And that's all Sammy was trying to tell him. The more you dive into this, the darker this path will get. It will never end right for you. Your brother has decided that it's time for him to go, and I'm hoping that you make the same decision. Jey Uso just walked away. Now, later on in the night, we got another conversation between Pauline and Jey Uso. And it seemed Jey was in better spirits. He was ready to take on the world, it seems. And Pauline said, well, we still need an answer, love. He thanked him for the match that he got for him, but he told him straight up, if Jey Uso is in the bloodline, then Paul Heyman is not. And well, as Sean Connery says, and the game is on. Put a pin in that. We'll come back to that later. There were hella qualifier matches. Okay. We talking hella qualifier matches. Okay. The girls were girling tonight. Okay. So, hold on, y'all, because I got to show y'all the pictures. We got to show y'all the pictures of everything. Okay. So we had hella qualifier matches tonight. Okay. So I'm going to get to the qualifier matches in a second. All right. Let me get y'all comments in. Yeah, you were in the top 3 today. I'll check it in a sec. Just y'all having y'all toiletries. Don't be ashamed. I'm not. I'm not upset nor surprised that Austin Theory retained his U.S. title, especially how he did. I'm just sick and tired of it. I mean, it's the truth. What I said was true. I'll say right about Austin Theory, about Austin now. Right about now, Austin is starting to get it. Is he? You sure about that? You sure? You sure? You sure about that? Whatever floats your boat, love. Hello, how are you? What do you call a skeleton with no friends? Oh God. What, Kenny? I said he's starting. Okay. Now he got it. Well, I mean, you like Austin Theory. I don't. I'm not finna pop for that man because I don't see it. He has great wrestling capability, but as far as his character goes, he is a typical character that has no personality. There's nothing about him that's really special. So, as far as I'm concerned, he can start, finish, restart, boil it up, grill it up, eat it, whatever he got to do. But until he get to the point where it's being shown consistently, I'm not giving him no room for shit. Bottom line, I'm not giving him nothing. Bonely, really, Kenny. I don't think I was being shady. I think I was being fair. I do. Oh, he not getting no kudos from me. One more, I promise, and then I'm done with jokes. What do you call a skeleton with no home? She said boneless. I can't with her, but he's getting it. Okay, we'll see. Now, I'm gonna take some of these pictures out so I can get the qualifier match um cards up here because I had it was a lot of graphics up on Twitter that I grabbed, and baby, they was not playing, honey. They was giving us all the feels. Okay, so what am I missing? What am I missing? I'm gonna listen to Gallant today. I go 1,000 miles in search of my direction. All of the lessons that I've learned somewhere in the distance got me skipping stones. I love that song. Holding out for something. Okay. I got one more thing to add here because I'm missing a couple of the cards. I thought I had all of them up here, but they don't be liking me sometimes. So there was 4 qualifier matches that hit today, and the first one was Mustafa Ali versus Santos Escobar. This match started off a little bit slow, but as it got to the middle where Santos hit a Hurricane Rana, I believe it is, and one of y'all will correct me in the comments, off of Mustafa while he was standing on the steps. So that's where the match started to pick up and really started to have a lot of movement. Mustafa had a lot of good pieces and good moments in this match. A lot of hops, a lot of high flying. He would have been a great addition to the Money in the Bank ladder match as well. But Santos ended up qualifying and he won. And I was so happy for Santos because Santos being in this match is about to be on like Donkey Kong. They got LA Knight, Shinsuke Nakamura, Ricochet, and now Santos Escobar. It's about to be bodies everywhere. You have to go Frank Milner. Bodies, 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 bodies everywhere. It's about to go down. I can't wait. It's going it's gonna be amazing. Okay, this match is gonna eat.
She said, no, because she said we love twin magic depending on the twins. And we do. I'm not going back on that. I said what the fuck I said. I'm not changing it. I mean, that's true. She ain't lying. See, told you. Boom. They look like brothers in this pic. They could be very distant cousins. They could be very distant cousins. If it started, it is already starting. Don't get weird. I said what the fuck I said. I'm not changing it. Periana. So the next qualifier match we had was the women's qualifier, and it was Bailey Baggles, Pammy Pockets versus Mia Yim. Now in this match, Mia did really, really good. She had the match set, everything was going her way, and then EO grabbed her hair. Bailey grabbed her hair and was able to get the drop on her after grabbing her hair, and she got the win. Now after this was over, Scarlet Witch and Carrie and No Cross came out there throughout the crowd, and they blew some dust in motherfucking they blew some dust in motherfucking AJ Styles' face. Mia came over there, to which Scarlett scurried away like a little dog. And I was just like, okay, girl. Now I done gave Scarlett grace because I know WWE be on her ass about her character or whatever. But Scarlett, ain't no reason for you to be jumping away from her like that. Your ass was on the indies wrestling dudes. You was in Impact wrestling the dudes. Dressed like you dress now. You was in Impact whooping ass. I'm gonna need for you to get a backbone. I don't give a fuck what WWE be talking about. Your ass need to do something. Okay, now next week it's a mixed tag match. The girls is gonna be fighting the girls, and the guys gonna be fighting the guys. So we're gonna see, because we all know Scarlett has wrestling capability. We know that she has a good wrestling prowess. Okay, but since tonight was not it, because your ass scurrying away from him and rubbing all over Cross and slow grinding and dry humping him tonight was not the business. I didn't need to see that. When y'all get to doing that shit, take that shit to the back. Okay, I don't want to see you dry humping on that man. That's nasty. That's real nasty. But Bailey Pammy Pockets qualified. 10 toes down on what she said. Emphasis on very distant. 10 toes down in quicksand. Quicksand or not, I said what the fuck I said. I'm not changing it. So then we had a qualifier match with Corbin and Butch. Now Corbin was talking a lot of shit. And when Carmelo and Trick Williams was sitting ringside, Corbin had to flex and floss in his fake ass boxer gear that he been wearing to the ring to wrestle in. Now, I don't know what WWE's policy is on gear, but given the fact that Kevin wrestles in shorts and shoes and stuff, and they don't say nothing to Kevin, I would imagine they're not going to say nothing to Corbin. But Corbin looks a mess. There's no coordination to Corbin's gear or look. I don't know what's going on with him. It ain't like he coming out there with no shirt on or nothing. Like, Homeboy seems to be very fucking confused about what he wants to be and where he wants to go and how he presents himself, because he wants to come across like the lone wolf, but he presents himself like one of the boxers that take the dives all the time for the shady promoters. You know what I'm talking about? You know, the kind that got the glass jaw, but they really, really want to be a boxer, but they can't, because at the moment they get touched on the chin, they get knocked the fuck out. Them the kind I'm talking about. That's what we have with Corbin. But see, Corbin thought he was just going to go in there and dominate Butch, and Butch fucked his ass up. See, that little hang that he be using for his choke slams, it got fucked up with Butch. And so Butch was able to do a grappling move, get him down on the ground, and got a roll up. This was all because
Corbin was in the ring pandering to Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. When he got out the ring, he got mad at Trick as if it was Trick's fault that he couldn't keep his eyes on the prize. And that nigga Trick punched him dead in his shit. They started scrapping and they had to send the people out there to split them up. Child, it was a whole kiki and mess, but I'm here for it all because it was funny. It was funny and it was damn sure worth it. Corbin earned every bit of that ass whooping. He should have kept his goddamn mouth shut. Mind your business. Okay? Mind your business. Didn't I still say 10 toes down, though? That's what you said, baby. I can't wait for the mixed tag team because even though Scarlett has experience, I'm waiting for Mia Yim to whoop her ass since she blinded Keith Lee. If you're not feeling well, I suggest you direct it elsewhere, beloved. I'm letting you know now. Who are you talking to? I'm gonna rest my eyes for a couple of minutes. That's your first and only warning. What is going on in these comments? What is happening here? Because I was joking. Don know me better than that. So it can't be at me. So what is going on in these comments? Because I feel like I'm going to skip something. And I don't feel like scrolling back up. It's a fine chocolate man on the screen, y'all. Carmela was more of a caramel looking dude, but okay. The Trick is cute. I'm talking to Aaliyah. Oh, okay, babe. I'm gonna eat my peanut butter and jelly and finish this review. That ain't my business. Y'all grown handle. Anyway, he said her comments getting real slick. Like, what? Y'all grown? Y'all handle that. Just don't go too far. Okay? All right. Not together, they can be a Twix. Stop. I'm just eating my snack and minding my business. Okay, Hiram? Okay, babe. Anyway, this led to them being escorted out, of course, and Baron Corbin going in the back crying like a little bitch. He didn't like the fact that Butch qualified. It's not fair. It's not fair. Meanwhile, he still had another person waiting to whoop his ass too. Cameron Grimes hit him with a sucker punch real quick, like stood there for a minute and walked the fuck away. Baron Corbin on the ground writhing in pain while Butch still qualified. So now, in the Money in the Bank qualifier match, is LA Knight, Santos Escobar, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Butch. We got 5 entrants already qualified for Money in the Bank. It's going down. The final Money in the Bank qualifier match was between Io Sky and Shotzi Blackheart. And let me tell y'all, we give Shotzi a lot of smoke because sometimes Shotzi can be very sloppy in the ring. But when I tell you that she was very clean today, she tightened up, she was good in the ring with Io. They got great chemistry with each other. I really like this match. And she was dominant in majority of it. But of course, Pammy Pocket's bell-bottom ass had to come in there and cost the girl her slot in the match. Now, don't get me wrong. I am okay with Io Sky being in that Money in the Bank ladder match. But that match between her and Io, I would have rather it would have been decided in a clean bout than to have Io cheat or Bailey cheat for Io. Cause I can't. But the silver lining in this is I can't wait until Io Sky knocks Bailey's ass off of that damn ladder and they start fighting. Cause that's my only thing that I can hope for is gonna happen because of that. So Corbin got his ass beat 2 times. Emotional damage, girl. It was a double homicide. It definitely was, and it was on him. He died twice, right before our eyes. Now to focus on the girls for a little bit, the tag team titles are going to be unified, which I gave y'all a little bit of a. I kind of figured this was happening the moment that they brought the girls up and they retained those championships and stayed on SmackDown as the NXT tag team titles. Champions. It seemed like they had pretty much eradicated the tag team division in NXT for right now, and they're going to focus on the tag team division on the main roster. But quite frankly, I still think they should keep the tag team division down there. Maybe they're going to introduce new belts down there and phase out these. Who knows? But I will say this. I'm glad that they're going to unify these championships. And of course, they're going to probably put the NXT titles on the shelf. Ronda and Shayna came down there talking a lot of shit. But Isla Dawn and motherfucking Alba went with it. They went with it. They whooped their ass. They whooped their ass. Po Shayna and Po Ronda got their asses whooped. Ronda thought she was gonna go out there and just talk shit and be like, "We want your titles." They was like, "Bitch, you want it? You gonna have to take it from me, ho. I ain't no slouch. I ain't one of your punk bitches. This ain't UFC. I'll beat your ass. Okay? It ain't gonna be none of them days. You ain't finna bully me into getting my shit. You want my shit, you gonna have to come take it. Period. Straight no chaser." Now, like I said earlier, the game is on. The girls are gonna be fighting. Now, this match got set because everybody was in the back arguing and fighting over who gets to be the number one contender for the tag team belts. You had Pretty Deadly, Gallows and Anderson, Street Profits. You had Brawling Brutes, and you got LWO's Legado del Fantasma, the tag team of Joaquin and Del Cruz. You had both of them, all of these teams back there arguing and fighting. When you look at all the teams, SmackDown tag team division is pretty lit. You feel what I'm saying, Jared? It's pretty stacked on SmackDown with the tag teams. That's a solid division right there. That's solid. You know what I'm saying? Kevin was just tired. He started going off, hollering and screaming. And the reality is, Kevin said, y'all in my personal space. I need y'all to back the fuck up. Adam came in there and said, "Listen, we're going to set this straight so everybody can have a shot. We're going to make it so everybody's happy. Gauntlet match next week. The winner earns an undisputed tag team championship match. And it's going to be Pretty Deadly versus LWO versus the OC versus the Brawling Brutes versus the Street Profits." Now, we don't know the order of how these teams are going to compete. I would imagine the Gauntlet match will be in the middle of the show. Who knows how this is all going to play out? But I promise you it's going to be good. And like I said earlier, it's a mixed tag team match between AJ Styles, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, and Mia. Who's all in the ladder match so far for the women? Io, Bailey, Becky, and Zelina. Zoe. You're missing Zoe. So we got a big tag team brawl next week. But the big thing about it this week was Charlotte decided to bring her ass back to SmackDown. You notice every time a new belt come around, Charlotte show up. Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't mad at Charlotte being there, but Charlotte blowing past Bianca, like Bianca ain't even there, so she can get a shot at that title, ain't right. Now, I don't care how y'all look at it and how you slice it, it's wrong. Now, she said she don't wait in lines, but had that have been me and I was back there, I'd have had my ass out there and I'd have been in Charlotte shit. Like, bitch, you can get behind me. You can go after the hoe who beat you. She's on the other show. But what you're not about to do is walk in front of me like I'm not here, like you don't fucking see me. Because that's blatantly disrespectful. And then Adam goes in the back. He in the back talking shit. You know what? It's great. It's amazing. Let's give it to her. Asuka versus Charlotte in 3 weeks. The Friday before Money in the Bank. Now, before that, we got introduced to a new title. Now, on my page, I put up a video explaining how these titles are going to look, and I was right about it, and my information that I got it from was correct. Asuka's title is a baby version of Roman's title, and when Rhea gets her new title, I imagine it will be a baby version of Seth freaking Rollins' championship. Now, the way that the article I had read that is that both championships would mirror Roman's title, but I don't think that that's what they're going to do. I think that they're going to have Rhea's title be a female version of Seth's title and let the WWE Women's Championship be a WWE Women's Championship. It's got a gold background, black stones. It's on a white strap. It looks 10 times better than Roman's title, if we're being fair. And I like the non-branded titles because, again, these belts can change. What's wrong?
I'm gonna find some blankets for the kids down there.
These belts can change hands at any given time, and they can change shows without having to leave their respective owners. Right. Charlotte, her new title, she her time. Right. As soon as she heard her new title, she came running back. Oscar can never catch a break when it comes to Charlotte. Ooh, that would eat a women's version of self-title. Take my money. Yeah, I'm hoping that that's what they do. I'm gonna get to this in a second. But anyways, all of that interaction led to Charlotte being the first one to challenge Asuka for her new title. And this is what the belt looks like on the WWE shop with the black stones and everything. And it says Women's Undisputed Champion. So that's the moniker they're going with for the Women's WWE Championship. And this is what Asuka looks like with her belt on. She she pretty much took out the other belt and got a new one. Anyways, so we had all that happen. And then we get to the big main event. Now, Austin Theory was in the back talking a lot of shit. Basically, all he said was, I'm going to keep the championship, and if Paul Heyman looking for new clients, he can give me a call. Okay. So they had their match. The match was pretty decent. Jey Uso had him beat. But then, the ref got knocked out. Jay pins him, and it was at least a 5 count before they realized the ref wasn't counting. Pretty Deadly come out there interfering in the match for whatever reason. Jimmy Uso comes down there to even the odds, and this is where the discord comes in, a miscommunication, because after he evens the odds, Solo come down there and attacks Jimmy. They take Jimmy out. Jay is trying to get them to stop. He stops Solo from attacking his brother. Solo pushes Jimmy. Jimmy goes for the super kick, and the super kick knocks out Jey Uso.
Jimmy goes after Solo, knocks him over the ring. They're on the outside, and of course, Austin Theory, being the snake that he is, slithers in and gets the pin on Jey Uso. This leads to a lot of confusion and bullshit going on. Now, of course, Paul Heyman is happy because he's the one who caused all this discord and drama. And as the credits roll for the show to go off, you see Jey Uso push his older brother away, like, yo, you cost me my championship. And he's like, I was just trying to help. I wasn't trying to hit you. You know that. He ain't want to hear that. Jey Uso walks out the ring, walk past Paul. Paul stick his hand out. He walks away again, mad at everybody. Paul claimed he apologizing, but after Jey Uso walks away, he cheesing like the sinister cheese grin, calling Roman Reigns because he's proud of the work that he done did. He done caused the discord between the two brothers, and now he feel like they got the upper hand, and Jey Uso is going to pick the bloodline over his brother. One can only hope that he doesn't do that. But if he does, that's his motherfucking business. Okay, and that is the end of the show, babes. That's how it went. That's how it went down. That's it. It's over. It's done. We just got to worry about next week. But how do y'all feel about Asuka's new belt? I love it. It looks great on Asuka. It looks better than Roman's title, in my opinion. So Seth's belt looks like this. So imagine that belt being a little bit smaller on a white strap. Same accoutrements, but it'll say women's, world heavyweight champion or women's world heavyweight champion or something like that. It'll just be on a white strap. It's a pretty belt. Not gonna lie. Now, next week also, Roman gonna pop back up again, child. Y'all know that man can't stay away. Roman's popping up next week again. It's always an announcement when he comes to SmackDown. I don't understand that. Like, this show is yours, so why are we announcing your return? The white strap looks better than Roman's belt, but they both still ugly to me. I disagree. If it's the same shape as Seth's, I think I'll like it. It's cute. I wasn't expecting much, so I wasn't too disappointed. I mean, it's the same belt as Roman's. It's just that's how the women's titles were always patterned after the main belt anyway. So I don't think it's an ugly belt. I think it's nice. It looks better on the white strap than it do on the black, so it makes the gold really stand out. So I like it. I mean, hopefully Rhea stays out of the men's business and finds her a suitable challenger to feud with a woman. Have you? It'll be now what? We almost we'll be next week is the second weekend in June, the second full week in June.
Yeah.
The week before Father's Day.
Mm-hmm. On the week of Father's Day.
Mm-hmm. If they ain't found her no opponent by now, they ain't gonna find her one.
They're not.
And if they do, they're gonna rush it. If they do, they're gonna rush it. I ain't gonna be on some bullshit. So I'm gonna be honest. I'm not really caring about what's going on with Rhea Ripley at this point because they're not giving me a reason to.
Right.
It's gonna be Brandy Eye, so okay. I don't care about that. They're just not giving me a reason to care, so I'm not going to. If she have a great feud, I welcome it. I'll watch it. I'll do commentary on it and everything, but I'm not gonna sit up, analyze, break down, figure out
because that's their fucking job. They could have been did all of that. It's a waste of my time and it's a waste of yours. Since they don't care enough about that championship to give it no traction like they did Bianca's championship, I'm not gonna care about it.
And if I was Rhea, I'd be pissed.
I mean, Rhea's having a good time doing what she's doing, which is fine by me. But my thing is, thank you, comparing title reigns, like even in Asuka's title reign that everybody hated, early pandemic Asuka.
She defended that belt.
Asuka was defending that title every chance she got. Even when they was tag team champions, she was defending her tag team championships every chance she got with Kairi Sane. Mm-hmm. So like my thing is everybody always gives Asuka shit when she be champion. Like nobody really gives her no play except for a few select people. They was giving Asuka the fucking blues while she was champion, but she defended it and she had challengers all the fucking time. Yep. Where is Rhea Ripley's challengers?
Hey, ma'am.
They're not showing up. You can't tell me everybody is on hiatus. That can't be true. And I can understand that some people are injured, but Candace not injured.
No.
You could be on starting a whole feud.
You essentially got a sponsor match between her and
he locked him up.
Bam flop.
No, before that.
Oh yeah, I know, but I'm just saying. But Bam sold it.
I was sold it too. If the ref not calling the first one.
That's a fair foul.
Bitch, well, get your ass out of here. Go home, nigga. Thank you, Rico. Did you see what that Charlotte was pointing at the old belt? I could be thinking too hard. Yeah, she kept talking about that championship. I don't. You know what?
He got the ball.
Pierre, you might be onto something. Wait. Okay. Chris Tucker.
Forrest Whitaker was there too.
Forrest Whitaker only got one eye. So he got to sit front row because he only got one eye. My bad, Forrest Whitaker, but you do. You only got one eye, baby. You got one good eye. Anyways, y'all, watching basketball, trying to will these Miami Heat into winning this game so they can go 2-2 back to Denver. Anyways, so Pierre might be on to something because she did keep talking about the Raw Women's Championship and pointing at the Red Championship. She did not point at Asuka's belt that was around her waist. But what if she get that Red Championship? But see, that don't make sense to me.
What's the point of bringing out the new belt if you only gonna make Charlotte the
But she not going after the red title. I think she just made an error when she was talking about it. Because she not going after the Red Championship. But I was trying to spin it, but that don't make no sense. Like, because the belt is there, they're gonna pull that red title, so that's gonna be no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is not for the red title, and they changed the name of it and everything. It is for this one. That's what it's for. So while the theory sounds good, in hindsight, it just don't make no sense. Yeah. Thank you very much, Rico. Appreciate that. Grayson just getting all the bitches on his show. We're gonna have to start calling him Big Dick Willie. I will never in my fucking life call that ashy lip, thin lip bitch no Big Dick Willie. Kiss my ass, Kenny. I'm not doing that. They just fed her Natalia and said that's it for you for now. Rhea and Piper, that would be a good feud. If Piper was ready to go, it'd be a good feud. But oh shit, can I have a charger for my computer? It's gonna cut off. Okay. Is somebody calling me? Hold on. All right. Kenny said, you know who should face Rhea? Miko. Main roster buzz be popping up on NXT randomly. Why not let the NXT people do the same thing? You know what, Kenny? I ain't mad at that. Miko Satomura against Rhea, that'd be dope. I'd welcome that. But you know they ain't gonna do it. It's too much like right. They can make those the mid card titles. What are you talking about? I just think she forgot the belt is retired in mid promo. Right, right. That's what I think. I don't know, because if there was an actual story for the red belt, then the blue belt has been made irrelevant. No, that no, Leah, that's not true. What? You're gonna have to clarify this because this don't make no sense to me. How, if there was a story for the red belt, then the blue belt's gonna be irrelevant? That's just like saying when the red belt wasn't played, the blue belt was irrelevant. Neither one of them canceled the other out. So I'm confused. You're gonna have to, or maybe don't, because my brain hurt just trying to figure out what the. I think she just mispointed. I do too. Look at my black ass making up words. Kitty call them what? While they making new belts, they can make one that is similar to the U.S. title for the girls and call it a day. Okay? I wouldn't even call him Big Dick Willie. Kenny is wilding. You out of your fucking mind. I'm not calling that man that. I barely want to call him Grayson Waller, but that's his fucking name. So, weird. Don't be weird. Move, bitch. Oh, Tokyo Tony is a mess. And you go get him two of these. He's in the bathroom. Hello. All right. So I saw something on the Twitters. I think I typed two separate thoughts together. You think so? Okay. I saw something on the Twitters that I saved in my bookmarks for all you children to look at. Oh, if you haven't watched the TV show Sweet Tooth, you definitely should because it's very, very good. My sister and my nephew watched that show, and I've had to watch it, and it's actually really good. So I'm looking forward to the third season. I ain't even watched the first season. I just watched the last couple of episodes, and I'm like, this shit good in the motherfucker. Let me get in here and see what the fuck going on here. But anyways. you give it to him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where'd he go?
He in his room.
Well, who's in the bathroom?
Probably, either mom or other kids or Logan.
Some other brothers been tossing up your PYT. You gon' slip and you gon' wish you would've listened to me. Better not feed that appetite, yeah. Oh, yes, Jordan. Oh, you watch Sweet Tooth. I didn't know that. Now, you probably done told me at some point, Don, and I was not listening, so my apologies. But I do not recall you telling me that you watched Sweet Tooth. But they put me on watching it, and I was like, this show is really good. I'm waiting for the third season. I'm mad. One of the characters died in the show, but it's real good. It is on Netflix. Sweet Tooth is on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, you definitely should. I usually take a break from Netflix for a little while, so when they add new stuff, I can kind of binge watch a bunch of stuff. Because I've been watching a lot of docs, babes. I just finished a review for Hillsong. Mom, you okay? I just finished a review for Hillsong. I just got to clean up the audio a bit and then get that posted on my podcast. Because I haven't posted on my podcast in about 3 weeks because it has been rough in here trying to get them podcasts done. But I'm going to start. Now, here's what I found on the Twitterverses regarding NXT, honey. Oh, you was talking about Tokyo Tony. Okay. Oh, he's stupid. I think he might be a little bit. All right. So according to Covalent TV, Nick Khan has revealed that WWE thinks NXT can become its own standalone brand once again. Now, these are Nick Khan's words. All right. Initially, NXT was on WWE Network, and then when the pandemic hit, USA and NBC Universal needed content. We did not miss a week of production, so we went with Tuesday nights on NXT on USA from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. NXT ratings are trending up, and so that is the right direction. We think NXT has the viability to be its own standalone brand instead of just being a developmental system, a third brand, if you will, where we can see crossover from our superstars on Raw and SmackDown to NXT while our young talent develops there. Once we get all of that situated, then we will look at other nights of the week to develop new content as well. So this is all coming from the Hollywood Reporter via Nick Khan. So it looks like NXT is going to be pushed back to being a brand for it'll be a triple brand again, which that means we could get a Survivor Series where all three brands are represented again. That means that we can have crossover pay-per-views and PLEs, champions going up against champions. There's a lot of wiggle room here with having NXT talent being a main roster brand again. Now, what they said they will do in this little article is shop around for other places to put content, which would lead to a more developmental system, which is what they have with Level Up. They might continue that forward. But NBC Universal only has the WWE content for 5 years. Okay. And we're working I think that we're working on the second year or third year. How long has Peacock been hosting? Hold on, let me check. How long has Peacock had WWE content? Okay, so we are on our second year. It's 2023. They started launch on 2021. So we're working on our second year. We're about half of the way. We'll be halfway in. I say by September, it'll be halfway. So we're working on 2.5 years that it's been there. So they're in It was in 2021. Where was the Hillsong stuff? The Hillsong stuff is on Hulu, Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and somewhere else. But you can watch it on Hulu if you have a Hulu subscription. You can watch it on Prime if you have a Prime subscription. Prime has another Hillsong doc up there as well. I know you have to pay for one, and that other one that they have on there is free. So you can watch both of those if you want. I watched the Hillsong doc that was on Hulu. That's the one I watched. Not really. Should it be NXT? Should be its own brand. It is better than the main roster at times, and at times the main roster is better than NXT. Everybody has their ups and downs, their ebbs and flows. I don't have an issue with NXT being a main roster brand. My problem is the last time they did that, it didn't work out too well for them, and they seem to fare better as a developmental brand than having NXT as a brand of its own. But WWE is going to do what WWE wants to do, and if that's the direction that Khan wants to take them, then so be it. But and they claim they're going to create. It looks like they're going to create another developmental so that they can have the situation where the people are coming in and they're being funneled in, and they're not just being slapped on television and being super green. They'll have a little bit more time in the ring, being able to prepare themselves as a superstar. About 3 years? No, it haven't been 3 years yet. It'll be 3 years in 2024, but it haven't been 3 years yet. Wasn't it in 2021? Yes, in March of 2021. That's when they first launched on Peacock. So this was all reported via the Hollywood Reporter through Nick Khan because he was being interviewed by them. So this is legitimate. This isn't something that the dirt sheets are just pulling out of their ass. This is something that is literally reported on Hollywood Reporter, and it's Nick Khan's own words. It came from his mouth. So we're going to see some changes going in to the WWE in a couple of years. We'll see some new things happening. NXT is going to become its own brand again. So we'll see how everything's going to work out. And of course, you still have the Endeavor deal that has to go through at some point. So we will wait and see. But anyways, that's all we got for SmackDown. Moving into what we're going to see on Monday Night Raw. They did make a few announcements for a few matches. Just remember that some of these matches are subject to change. They will not always remain the same. Sometimes, shit happens and they have to change a match. So just be mindful of that these things might change, okay? But The Miz is set to go up against Cody Rhodes. And you're going to have Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn taking on Gunther and Ludwig Kaiser. We all saw that Giovanni got his knee messed up by Matt Riddle last week, so we'll have to wait and see. And Matt Riddle is supposed to take on Damian Priest in a Money in the Bank qualifying match. That's interesting. Very, very, very interesting, yes. So let me show y'all the infographics. Let me show them. Tempted, I was confessing, I've been and I make a mess. Put my BS on the rest, cause I love my lady. Feel as if you love your girl, fight that appetite for the lady. All right, so like I said, Miz is going up against Cody Rhodes. Imperium, two people of Imperium, Gunther and Ludwig, will go up against Kevin and Sammy on Monday, and you're going to have Damian Priest facing off against Matt Riddle to qualify for the men's Money in the Bank. Now, they didn't mention a women's qualifier match, but it's possible. They still should have did that flash drive idea. I'm not letting that go. I know you're not. What's your opinion on this new era of WWE, Tiff? I mean, I guess y'all could qualify this as a new era. Me personally, I don't really qualify it as anything new. There's shades of new with like, shades of the past. They kind of combined old school ways of storytelling with new fresh talent, and they give you a easier way to digest it. I think that it's very well done. I think that they eased everything on us really nicely. And I told y'all a while ago that it was going to take time for them to implement new things in. They can't just force stuff in there like that. It doesn't work that way. And last year, they were still trying to get rid of everything that Vince had set into motion and start off fresh. So I'm okay with how they're going and the way that they move. There are only a few suggestions that I would make in terms of Triple H and how he books in his long-term booking, because he does book for the long haul. Um, I would say while he's very strategic when it comes to certain superstars, he needs to be more strategic with everyone. And if he's not going to be involved with everyone's storyline, then the people that are over certain storylines need to be more strategic about how things are done. Karrion Cross is a good example of that. He's not a plausible threat to anybody, but he does like to play mind games. But his wife is better at the mind games than he is, and he doesn't follow through on anything that he says or does. So no one has any believability in what he and Scarlett can do, aside from these cheap sideshow tricks that they keep pulling in, the fireball, the smoke, and everything else. And she's always the one who is making sure that that is done, and the theatrics of that works out for them. But in the end, when it comes down to the fighting and the actual match quality, Carrion doesn't always deliver. So while, yes, in a sense, the grand scheme of it, the theatrics of him, the idea of Karrion Cross makes sense in the long run. In the end, he has to have some traction against somebody. Now, I wouldn't necessarily say it should have been against AJ Styles. Quite frankly, I would have had him go up against Theory and had him terrorizing Theory for a couple of weeks. Let him have a Money in the Bank match. You can have Theory cheat to win. Fight him again, because that next pay-per-view would have been at SummerSlam, and Karrion could walk out of SummerSlam with the United States Championship. It could help solidify Karrion as a viable superstar in that company, but it also could help build him up. And whatever comes his way, he can have challenger after challenger, and he can cheat and do whatever he wants, but it needs to make sense. Karrion's trajectory as of lately has not made sense. Now, he's tried to make light of the fact that he's been a loser, as Don was saying, for quite some time. He hasn't won a match since he got beat by Drew McIntyre in that steel cage match. He has not won any match from any person that he has set his sights on. He hasn't beaten any of them. So that's one person that they need to fix. Another thing they need to do is focus on this women's division incredibly. Make it so that you understand what you're trying to do. You need to utilize your talent to the best of their ability. You have girls down there that can do the job, but you need to give them the opportunity to do so. You have women in that locker room that can fight, cut promos, and if they can't, get them a valet to do the job. That's what you did back in the day for the guys who couldn't do it. You need to do the same thing for these girls. And another thing that they also need to do is they need to invest in their tag team division for the women. You can have a Mae Young Classic that exclusively brings in tag teams only, and they work, and you put some of those tag teams on SmackDown, some of those tag teams go on Raw, the other girls can go to NXT, and then you can have a budding women's division on each show, especially if you're talking about making NXT a standalone brand. And back to what Kenny said, you most definitely can introduce a women's mid card title, and that belt can travel between shows if that's what you want it to do. But you need to have something that the girls can fight for so that their division feels just as competitive and just as strong as the men's division. The men overall have over 6 titles that they can compete for across all 3 brands. That is not the case when it comes to the women's division. It's a smaller division, it's marginalized, and it shouldn't be like that. The girls in the women's division cut better promos. Some of them are better wrestlers, and they look good while doing it. Meanwhile, some of these guys can barely get their leg up, move, or talk. Some of them even have a lisp, and y'all act like it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. I'm just saying, it's not fair. So I need them to be more intentional when it comes to the women's division, just as intentional as they are with fucking Roman. They need to be intentional with the girls as well. You need to make sure you position your women to be at the top. You give Charlotte all the grace in the world. You let her be at the top of the mountain. Becky too. Okay? You could do the same thing for your other girls and start building up that division so you can get them to the top. Now, I know that WWE is hurting with a lot of injuries at the moment. I understand that, but you got a lot of work to do, and you need to start implementing them changes now as we speak. Also, final thing, before I move into something else, while I understand long title reigns are detrimental, well, they're instrumental to the bottom line, and I get that you want to be able to tell stories. Not every story needs to be told. Austin Theory should have dropped his title a long time ago. And while I get y'all want Austin Theory to be this great guy, he just ain't it. There's something about Theory that doesn't work as a heel right now. He has no reason to be a heel, if we're being honest. He has no reason to operate in this manner at all. He is a bland bowl of cheap vanilla ice cream with barely any flavor and just sugar. I don't want just sugar. I like the taste of vanilla bean. I like the flavor of vanilla. And you giving me just sugar water with a little bit of milk and ice in it. And I don't want that. I don't want that, babe. You got to start working on maintaining that division. The mid-card division can be your workhorse division, and you're well aware of that because you utilize guys like Ricochet, Bronson Reed, and Shinsuke Nakamura. You know that those guys will work no matter where you put them. If you position certain people in the divisions and build up others, like, say, a Mustafa Ali, you will have somebody who can help usher in the new era of this division and also make it work out in their favor. This can be a good stepping stone title leading into the World Heavyweight Championship or the WWE Undisputed Championship. There's so many avenues that you can take when it comes to these championships and these titles, okay? So you gotta make it so that it's not easier, but you gotta make it so it's an even playing field for everybody. That's all I want. While everything is new, I mean not everything, but they're trying to implement things, make it more diverse, give us more faces. They done revived LWO. They're putting more Latino people on screen. We love that and we hear you, but you still got a lot of work to do. You still got a lot of work. Because what you're going to have is a big problem. You're going to have a big problem. You're going to have a problem with the vacuum that Roman Reigns is going to create. Whoever takes that championship off of him is going to have to be able to hold down the WWE while he's gone, or just period, until you find somebody else to take that title. When you do, it's going to create a hole. If the person is not big enough to be able to stand in that hole, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a big problem. So you need to make sure that you have a person that's built up enough, that's strong enough to be able to handle that. The kind of numbers that Roman Reigns and the Usos and the Bloodline themselves pull in for SmackDown on a weekly basis is not going to happen with another person if you don't have good enough storylines written so that they work out for them. So all the time and effort you're putting into Roman and this bloodline story, each chapter you're creating, you need to make sure that you're also starting the next book. Okay? And that's it. That's it. I don't have nothing else. Not to mention the men will get 75 to 80% of the screen time. The women are lucky to get 30 minutes on each show. While, yes, that has been true, as of lately, that's not necessarily been true. We have seen the women on TV, however, they don't get equal screen time. That is true. But certain women get the screen time and others don't. I'll say it that way. And I'm not a big fan of not having an equal time for the girls and the guys because I feel like you can kind of flip flop between the divisions. No, men, women, or women, men, like they do for the PLEs. They can do the same thing for the shows, the main event shows. So it really depends on their booking for that night and the storylines that they're pushing for that night. I like sugar water. Well, that's good for you, babe. But I don't. I don't like sugar water. That's nasty. That is nasty. What doesn't hold true anymore? It's literally what it says: sugar and water. It's no other way to explain it. It's literally what you see is what it is: sugar and water. That women being lucky if they get 30 minutes. I agree. I don't think that's true anymore either. But I don't think they get equal time with the men. Um, I think that when the girls are on TV, it's limited, but it's not like that. Like now, what we got today was equal time. The matches that we saw, the girls' matches was the same amount of time as the men's. They didn't really take it away from them. Rhonda, Shayna, Isla, and Alba were there. They had a fair amount of time on SmackDown today. The women weren't as prevalent on Raw Monday because that wasn't the stories being told. They had the qualifier matches, but the stories being told is what take precedence. And usually, if there's a strong women's segment, they will have that segment on Raw. They will make sure it is done in due time. He said like Rhea is basically accumulating the same amount of time as Roman. If we're being honest, respectfully, yes, and it's not worth it if we're being honest. I wouldn't be giving her that much time for her to come out there with Dom. It's annoying. It's not even worth the time or the effort, and it's just I'm just not interested. If that makes sense, I know a lot of people is just like, well, she's Rhea Bloody Ripley, and I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm just not interested. I don't care to find out where it's going, how it's gonna lead. I'm just not interested in it. I'm just not. Sir, I mean, it's just not. I wish it was because I really like Rhea. I really do. I really love her. And I think that Rhea is a great talent and she's a good heel and she's a good face. I like Rhea Ripley, period. But the way that she's being presented now, I'm just not interested in watching that. I don't give a shit about any of what about anything that's going on with her and Dom and Judgment Day. I do not care about any of that. I don't care because that, and then she don't have nothing going for herself. So now they're getting ready to have Seth go up against Finn. So all the attention gonna be on Finn and Seth. What is she gonna be doing? Standing there holding a championship. She's the only one in that group who made good on everything they said before they went to WrestleMania, and not one time have they had her at the forefront. Besides her stepping in front of somebody before they get hit, stepping in front of somebody, telling, baiting and switching a man to hit her, which I can't wait till somebody come and do it. If Randy come back and he RKO that bitch, I will love Randy Orton for the rest of his life. I will never say a bad thing about that man if he give me just one. Just one. Okay? Not one bad thing. I'd be like, nope. Randy Orton is the GOAT. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the GOAT. No matter how nefarious and felonious his bullshit be, I'd be like, nope. I don't know what you're talking about. He ain't do nothing. That man hit him first. So, could never be me. It's not better than her first title reign. It's just not. I'm just not interested. I'm sure things could change over time, but right now, I'm just not fucking interested. I'm just not interested in it. I don't want to see it. He said, I'm rooting for Randall, period. If he RKO Rita, I'll never complain. Because he don't give no fucks. He really don't. And I fucks with that. But she's getting on my nerves. And I need to see her get her ass whooped. Period. I need to see it. Give me what I want. Stop playing with me. Stop it. Anyway. Say the word over there. Final thoughts. Money in the Bank is going to be on July 1st, Saturday, in London. Now, a lot of y'all might be confused, so let me help you break it down. Bianca's the one who's going to Money in the Bank to face whoever wins that Friday for the WWE Women's Championship. Now, WWE could swerve us and make Charlotte add it to the match and make it a triple threat at Money in the Bank. They usually do. Hopefully they don't. Charlotte might go to Money in the Bank and cost Bianca the championship, and then they fight it out at SummerSlam. You know, I love Rhea, but eventually she's going to get this work. So there you have it. Monday Night Raw is over. Well, SmackDown is over. We're moving into Monday Night Raw next week. We got 3 matches scheduled to go. Hopefully they'll tell us some other stuff by Monday. We know that Nick Khan is planning on bringing NXT back to being a third brand, and they plan on developing other content to have so that they can have something else for the developmental. And of course, there's a new women's title for the Raw Women's Championship. It is now defunct, and now we have the WWE Women's Championship. So now we need to look forward to, or at least have an inkling as to when Rhea Ripley is going to get her new Women's Championship. All right? Because it's quite odd that the champ is walking around on Monday Night Raw with the blue brand belt. Okay? I think Bianca will call Charlotte or Asuka. Either way, I'm fine with it, because if it could lead to a trilogy type of thing where the girls are fighting, fine by me. It's just a zipper. Now, it could lead to where Bianca go to SummerSlam and, Charlotte beat her at SummerSlam. And then when the girls go to WrestleMania, Charlotte loses at WrestleMania, and Bianca finally bests
the queen, and she has now beaten all of the horsewomen, including the two, pseudo horsewomen in Bliss and Asuka, because everybody always say one of them is the fifth. Bianca would have beaten all of them. She would have beaten Bliss, Bailey, Becky, Sasha. Charlotte is the last holdout. She already beat Asuka. She only got one more. But why would they put her in Money in the Bank? She's not even in any of the qualifying matches. She's probably not even going to be in the last ditch effort match that they always set up. Bianca's not even being considered for Money in the Bank, so how could she be put in it? I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm legitimately asking because I'm confused. They're honorary horses. That's what I know, but that's what they keep telling us. That's what they keep telling us. Okay? That's what they keep telling us. Anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all letting me holler at my screen for an hour and 22 minutes. It'd be 22 minutes in a second. I'm finna go because I got to get up in the morning because I'm going out to go see my mother-in-law. Then I got to go to my friend's house. And then I got to plan me and the hub's wedding anniversary because some of our stuff that we had planned fell through. So we gotta redirect and rearrange everything, but it's still gonna be a good day, right, babe?
Yep.
Still gonna have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So me and Jared been together 15 years? Married 15 years.
Married 15, together 18.
We've been together 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
We only been together 20 years.
What?
What we gonna do on our 20-year anniversary?
We'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
Am I gonna have the wedding I've been wanting to have? Because that'll give me time to work towards that goal, so I can have the body I want. I can stand in a picture like this, Jared. Look. Do the model-esque.
You're stupid.
What? Okay, anyway, me and AJ been together 18 years, almost 20. We've been married for 15 years, and our anniversary is this Sunday. So happy anniversary to me and Jared. So y'all have a good night. I will see y'all Monday after Monday Night Raw. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to do that. If you're not getting notified when I go live, make sure that you go to the page, unsubscribe, resubscribe, and then hit the bell. That should help you reactivate your notifications. I get them on my phone often for channels that I've subscribed to. I go back and turn the bell off and turn it on so I can get those notifications again. You can do the same thing too. Sometimes I unsubscribe and then resubscribe so I can get those notifications again. But you should see it pop up on your phone. Just know that I usually go live around the same time every single day. If I'm late, y'all know I'll be late most of the time. So I'm just going to have to bear with me, huns. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Thank you. Standing in the look back at it pose. Yes. Very good, Donnie. Very good. Happy anniversary. She said, yes, happy anniversary. I'll be the gift that keeps on giving. He always finds a way to insert himself. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. It's gotta redirect around back to Donnie. It has to. Child. You gotta love him though. You gotta love him though. Anyways, y'all have a good night. I'm finna go. I will see you guys Monday. Thank y'all so much for being here, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for being a part of my show. Please be sure to check out my wrestling podcast, Down for the Count, with my girls, and of course, the personal podcast with the entertainment, pop culture, and news called the KTT podcast. Like I said before, we have pop culture that we just love to talk about. Okay, pop culture includes any and all celebrity news. I have the Red Rum True Crime series where I talk about all of the stories in the news that have to do with murder and anything very, very high profile in terms of murder. And of course, we have Am I the Asshole Fridays and Twitter stories. That includes my personal recap of the SBC chat and of course, some Reddit Am I the Asshole stories that need my advice, honey, because I just love to talk. So, if you love me, please do me a favor, run on over there and follow both of my podcasts, because the wrestling podcast is where it's at when it comes to the wrestling. The girls always got it handled on that front, but y'all, my other podcast is my personal baby, and I really want it to pop off. So go over there and follow both of them. They're both available on Spotify, and don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in our next one. Bye.
All right, y'all, I gotta go back.